it's Friday right here in Nigeria's capital city. There will be plenty of action in the English Professional Football League and the Spanish La Liga and many more. But the news this morning is that Nigerian girls are in faraway Cameroon in search of 3 maximum points that will qualify the team for Paris 2024 Olympic Games in faraway France. And right here in Nigeria's capital city, all is not well with the Sport Writers Association of Nigeria Abuja chapter. And of course, the president of that association is in Abuja, precisely at the media center of the MKO Abiola National Stadium, to find a lasting solution to the ongoing unpleasant moment with members of the Sport Writers Association of Nigeria. There will be plenty in the Spanish La Liga, in the Italian Serie A, and of course the Nigeria Professional Football League. We'll be taking you straight to Douala, Cameroon, where Nigerian girls are in search of a ticket for the Paris Olympic. And of course, we'll also be joining live from the MKO Abiola National Stadium, where SWAN President, Mr. Benjamin Isaac, will be joining us on the program. This and many more stories will come your way only on Global TV right here in Nigeria's capital city. And it's time for us to talk sport. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll go straight to stories that are making headlines only in the world of sport. Please don't go away. Glad to have you back on the program, Talk Sport, right here on Global TV. There will be plenty of actions. The women are doing their game across 5 centers in Africa to pick the remaining 3 tickets that will qualify their various countries to participate in the Paris game. In Douala, Cameroon, precisely at the Omin Sports Stadium, the Lioness of Cameroon will be playing host to the Super Falcons of Nigeria. The team arrived at the country neighboring Cameroon and had a feel of what it takes to play in front of thousands of host side. The Cameroonians are still very fresh in their mind because the Super Eagles of Nigeria denied Cameroon and sent Cameroon packing, and they just concluded African Cup of Nations in faraway Ivory Coast. Their girls will be in action today, and Nigeria could stop them from qualifying for the Paris female soccer event. In the course of the program, we'll be taking you to the commercial city of Cameroon, which is Douala, the venue for today's cracker between the girls from Nigeria and, of course, their host counterpart, talking about the Lioness of Cameroon. Away from that, let's bring you back and take you straight to the MKO Abiola National Stadium, where SWAN is currently finding a lasting solution to men and women who are responsible in the business of sport writing in the country. They are under the umbrella of the FCT SWAN Association, and one man will be speaking to us. He is the president of the Sport Writers Association of Nigeria, Mr. Benjamin Isaac, will be joining us live on the program. to tell us how far, and of course the Reconciliation Committee. But before then, while we wait for him, let's tell you that Democratic Republic of Congo Women's National Football Team, of course the Association Football Team representing Democratic Republic of Congo, are set to take on their own counterpart for a game. It will be Congo taking against DRC, and of course Equatorial Guinea battling their opponent. There will be 5 matches that will be decided across the continent of Africa for a ticket in this year's edition of the female Olympic football team. Don't forget that Nigeria and Cameroon are the only 2 African countries that have won the male football ticket. Nigeria made history in Atlanta '96. Of course, the great one, the one we call Papilo, was very, very instrumental. Meanwhile, Cameroon also made history by winning the Africa, of course, setting African second record in winning the Olympic Games with the likes of Samuel Eto'o, who is currently the president of the Cameroon Football Fecafoot. What we call NFF, they call it Fecafoot. But it's not done well with Eto'o if he will still continue as president of Fecafoot following their superlative decline at the ongoing African Cup of Nations, in which the Super Eagles of Nigeria denied them a chance to advance to the quarterfinals of the stage. Let's go straight to the MKO Abiola National Stadium to find out if our man is joining us this morning on Zoom to give us update on the readiness of repositioning the Federal Capital Territory Football Sport Writers Association. Now, let's tell you that the Leopards is the name for the Congolese female team. They will also be in action, and of course, they will be going into the game against the Fika, which will be the man to be poked for the game. Let's tell you more about the program. Let's take a break. When we come back, there will be more on the program Talk Sport right here on Global TV in Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. Glad to have you back on the program, Talk Sport, right here on Global TV, Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. Let's take you straight to the MKO Abiola National Stadium, where one man is in Abuja for reconciliation and finding peace for members of the Sport Writers Association of Nigeria. I'm talking about the big boy himself. The president is in Abuja. Mr. Benjamin, good morning and welcome to the nation's capital city.
Having me, my brother. It's indeed a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Hello, Mr. President.
Yes, very good morning to you and all. And it's indeed a pleasure for me to be part of this meeting. And I indeed thank you for having me, please.
Okay, glad to have you in the Nigerian's capital city. I know you are here for one very, very important assignment. But before we go that, let me congratulate you for the successful coverage of the just concluded African Cup of Nations, in which your contribution helped Nigeria to win the second position. Tell us how it was in Abidjan, covering and coming home with something to show.
Yeah, well, of course, it's a victory for all. And we indeed thank God. We had wished that we came with a trophy, but be it as it may, we came second, and that's a good one. We all played our part individually and collectively to ensure that that success became a reality. We must give it to the players who put in their very best. The coaches also did their very best. And we must also commend the federal government for the effort they also put up in ensuring that all that is required for the players to put in their best was made available to them. Again, I must also give it to the NFF under the leadership of Haji Ibrahim. So, well, we thank God that is how it was, and we thank God that it was a good one. Yes, for my family, what I mean my family, talking about the sport fighters that covered the event, well, we did the best we can to give it the required coverage, and I'm happy that it turned out all good, and I hope that it can only get better in future competitions.
I know there have been several condemnations on the attack on one of the great Super Eagles player. I don't know if you want to also put your voice in condemning the attack on one of the Super Eagles player, Iwobi. I mean, Mr. President, that wasn't good enough for some fans expressing, destroying, killing the spirit of sportsmanship. Your comments?
Yeah, I actually agree with you in totality. And the sport writers at the national level, we equally joined our voices in issue relevant statement condemning the bullying on the Iwobi. He gave his best, but we are humans and mistakes in life is inevitable. All right, you want to condemn somebody because of one mistake or the other. And I think that again is quite very discouraging. And that is why when we issued our statement from the National Secretariat of SWAN, we did condemn it in totality. And we called on those that were engaging in such as to disease going forward. Our players need to be encouraged at all costs, by all means, with all the effort they are putting on. Anything could happen on the pitch of play. So if there are one or two mistakes there and there, we must not condemn the person in totality. All right. So I mean, we did the best we can, and that was how it ended. But believing me honestly, it wasn't a good one, and we want to appeal once again that to err is human. Mistakes, like I said, is inevitable. But when there are such mistakes, we must not condemn the person to a point of discouraging other ones. All right. So that is the point. So it wasn't a good one, and I hope that going forward we won't have such a situation again.
President, I know you want to say a big thank you to the president himself, a sport-loving president, for the wonderful love he has shown to members of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Is SWAN happy with the level of glory and the award given to the team that came second in the Cup of Nations?
Oh, yes. It has never been this good. Some persons did say that there were such a award given to them in time past, but it never saw the light of the day. I think Mr. President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has done well. He has demonstrated that he's indeed a sport-loving president. And we are impressed with the sense of reward that he gave to these Super Eagles that have done us proud. And I must also commend all other, well-meaning personalities like the Senate President, the Governor of Kogi State, and some other governors who are also, identifying individually with players from their state, honoring them, recognizing them, and appreciating them in one way or the other. I think this is quite commendable. All right, because it will further encourage others going forward to also ensure that they also put in their best wherever they find themselves. Any opportunity anybody has, all right, to contribute to the development of the country, as in is what putting necessary efforts to achieving it. All right, so the president did very well, and I must commend him. Again, I want to say that I want to say that we are also hoping in the nearest future that the president will also recognize the sport writers who also we are the ones that are showcasing these guys in all that they are doing. And so where the president finds it very necessary to also congratulate us and encourage us, I think we will like it. We will definitely appreciate it. So the president did very well, and his effort is indeed very, very commendable.
Okay, Mr. President, you are in Abuja for a very, very important assignment. Could you please tell us what is bringing the president into Swan chapter of FCT? It's like you came to find a lasting solution, Mr. President.
Yeah, that's very correct. I think I like that word, coming to find a lasting solution. That's exactly why I am here. You see, you can't be a good leader when your house is not in order. I have discovered, sorry if the video is not showing the way it ought to be. I'm actually on transit, as I say. Yeah, so the thing is that I want to ensure, in my acceptance speech, I did say that I am committed to ensuring that uh, genuine reconciliation is initiated across board, beginning from the national to the state chapters. And I must say in clear terms that so far so good in my acceptance speech, I did emphasize on genuine reconciliation, and so far so good, we are achieving that. And whether we like it or not, Abuja is key, and I cannot afford to allow Abuja, to be divided. So we immediately set up a reconciliatory committee. They met with all the parties, and they have all agreed that there's need for us to come under one umbrella. And I want to tell you, by today, we would have brought that under perfection.
Mr. President, of course, we were told that there are two factions in Nigerian capital city, Abuja. Have you been able to meet the two factions? And if you have, what method are you going to ensure to find the lasting solution, which is one of your primary assignment on assumption of office as the president of Sport Writers Association of Nigeria, Mr. Benjamin?
Yes, very correct. What I did, like I told you, I set up a reconciliatory committee made up of high-powered delegations, and they met with both parties, they met with stakeholders within both parties, and they both agreed that there is need for us to come together as one indivisible family. And what we are actually doing today is that by the end of today, you will see a communique that will be emanating to say that Abuja FCT Swan is now one body. All right, and both of them are going to let go. All right, there are differences, and we will now put up a machinery that will help to ensure that
President of the Sport Writers Association of Nigeria, Mr. Benjamin Ishaku, right here in Nigerian's capital city, giving us an update on the trip to Abuja that will lead to the lasting solution on Sport Writers Association crisis in the nation's capital city.
That's
we
correct.
are told that the two bodies under the leadership of Mr. Wumi as well as Mr. Chijoka have been on separate goals in the past. But we expect that with the coming and intervention of the new brand president of the association, Abuja, Nigerian's capital city, Sport Writers will now have a better way to forge ahead with the business of sport writing. We'll see if Mr. President will join us back. Otherwise, we will take a break and take you straight to Cameroon, where the spokesperson, the media officer of the Super Falcons, will be joining us. But the president is still very much around with us. Mr. Benjamin, let's say welcome back for the second time.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I tend to be having so much of divided attention because of the meeting, which not for this we would have commenced at the moment. But of course, just like I was saying as a way of rounding up that we are committed to ensuring that both parties become one at the end of the day. And that is our commitment. We want to have one swan in FCT. We want to ensure that across the states, all right, we have only one swan. That's the only way we can be respected, all right? Administrators are taking advantage of the division, all right, to further polarize us, and will not allow that going forward. So I want to assure you and assure Nigerians and assure the good people of FCT that by the end of today, we would have resolved all our issues amicably.
So under your tenure, you think Swan would bounce back to his position as well as taking all that belongs to him in AIPS and so on?
Absolutely, by the grace of God and with the support of all, including yourselves.
Thank you very, very much, Mr. President. I can see Mr. Ikena, Ambassador Ikena, very close to you. We want to say a very big thank you to you. And from here, I'll be heading straight to be part of history that will be making today under your supervision. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
I must thank you so very much for this opportunity. May the Lord honor you and every other crew there. Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
As the president of the Sport Writers Association of Nigeria, Brown, new president, is in Nigeria's capital city to find a lasting solution on the crisis between the two factions in the FCT chapter of SWAN. Away from that, let's come back here. We'll be taking you on the flight, Glow flight, and we're taking you straight to Cameroon, capital city, the commercial city of Cameroon precisely. I'm talking about Douala, where the Lioness of Cameroon will be filing out in the next 5 or 6 hours against the Nigerian female team. The media officer Oluchi will be joining us live on the program. Let's take a break. When we come back, perhaps we'll take you straight to Douala on a safe flight. Don't go away. This is Talk Sport on Global TV from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. Talk Sport on Global TV is Monday to Friday. Don't go away. When we come back, there will be more on the program. Thank you. Glad to have you back on the program Talk Sport right here in Nigerian's capital city, Abuja, this beautiful Friday evening. We told you that the Nigerian girls have arrived the Cameroonian capital city of Douala in search of a ticket for Paris 2024 Olympics. On the way, we have the spokesperson of the team in Cameroon, and she's already live here with us. Good morning to you and bonjour. I'm fine. And how is the team presently in Cameroon?
We are good. We settled down smoothly. We had our official training session yesterday. We do not have any injury worries. The players are in high spirit. They know the tasks ahead of them. We had the pre-match press conference, and Chiamaka Nnadozie, Africa's best goalkeeper, represented the Super Falcons, and she was very optimistic that it's going to be a game that the girls will put in all their best, and they still want to maintain the same momentum they had while we were in Australia during the last World Cup. They understand the challenge ahead. They know that it's not going to be an easy game because the Lioness of Cameroon would want to go out for revenge. We stopped them in the last WAFCON from going to the World Cup. They are out of the forthcoming WAFCON, so they have all this to go for. But we've been out of the Olympics over the past 15 years, and we want to be readmitted into the Women's Football Olympics in grand style.
Talking about a trip to Cameroon is not an easy one. Some few weeks ago, the male counterpart sent Cameroon out of the African Cup of Nations, and today you are in Cameroon to take away 3 points. Is it an easy task in terms of fans? Were there fans watching you in your first training section?
Wow, I was telling a colleague of mine that I haven't seen much fans like that before. All my time with the Super Falcons, there were over 50 media persons. Everybody was just there. During the pre-match meeting, almost all the journalists there wanted to take a picture with Chiamaka Nnadozie. They were just waiting for the training time to see Asisat Oshoala and all those things. Thankfully for us, I had the 15 minutes timeout with the media, to protect my players. And after the 15 minutes, they had to leave so that we could concentrate on our training.
Douala is a city that has over 4 million Nigerians. Are the Nigerians there, our brothers and sisters? Is there any likelihood that they will come and support the Super Falcons in our usual tradition of sportsmanship?
Yeah, certainly. I had the opportunity to meet the president of the Nigerians community and the district over here, and we spoke extensively, and he told me all the moves they've been making to make sure that we have total support and we feel at home come game time 6 p.m. today. It's not the first time they rallied around also in 2016, and they are eager. Like, Falcons have not been in Cameroon for a long time, and they want them to know that they are at home.
What result will you say is your best in today's game? You have a win ahead of you, you have a draw, you have maybe a defeat or whatever. But what result will you really be appreciative at the end of the blast of the whistle?
Well, I would not underestimate any team. I would not also overvalue the Super Falcons. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm happy with the kind of caliber of players that we have that can take in anything that comes their way. We could only have the worst of feeling that we're playing away. That was in Morocco when we played them against Morocco in the semi-final. I don't think we'll have anything as bad as that, and I know we cannot get such unfriendliness, en masse in Douala here. So I can tell you that when the Super Falcons have the opportunities, they will do score goals. We have the best of the best forefront. We have the best goalkeeper in Africa at the rear. We have a very experienced Osinachi Ohali, back down there, the center back. And Ashley is also back. I can tell you that don't be surprised when the Super Falcons come out victorious in this game.
Arriving the Douala International Airport all the way to your hotel, to your stadium, is there anything, any challenges like what we saw in Ivory Coast where they deprived some of our fans in the final? Is there any thing you think the Cameroonians are doing to distract us from getting the maximum 3 points? Are you comfortable with the accommodation as well as the pitch?
It's a paying game. You buy your ticket, you come in. Nobody can debar you. So hotel from the stadium is about 10-15 minutes drive. We are respected, we are protected, we have all our escorts around us, we are comfortable where we are, and we just need to go there and translate it on the pitch.
I like the word translating because you're already speaking French. I feel like saying bonjour once again.
Yeah, too many greetings won't kill. Bonjour, my brother.
Okay. The last game between the two teams will be in Nigeria. Precisely, it will be in Abuja. What message do you have for fans, especially those of us in Abuja, waiting that the final, or what we call the last fight, is at home here?
Yeah, Abuja fans, they've always come out en masse to support the team. We've not failed them since after the World Cup. All the matches we have prosecuted in at the Moshood Abiola Stadium, we've come out victorious, and want to assure them that it's not going to be different this time around. We're going to play the game today, take a rest tomorrow, and hopefully we and the Lioness we're going to come back to Abuja together on Sunday. We experienced the same too when we played Cape Verde. We both traveled. It's gonna be fine. Abuja fans will be happy. Tell them that the Super Falcons will make them happy.
That's our prayer and our belief. Let's look at the team. Any foreign base, any local base players that is putting force for the national team, or are you out with all pro?
This has been out days before now. We have two home-based players. Oguna Kudu, experience. She's been with the team all this while. She's grown with the team. And the U20 goalkeeper, she was with the U17 during the last World Cup. On the 17 World Cup, she's been promoted to the U20, so she's with us too. Also, Linda Jiwaku, has good potential, has good height, builds, and I'm sure she will gain from the experience and want to do everything possible to convince.
Media officer, the Falconets want to say a very big thank you to Madam Oluchi for finding time to join us this morning all the way from Cameroon, Douala. Merci beaucoup for your time, and we wish the team the best of luck.
Thank you so much. Thanks for your support. We'll be there for Nigerians.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much. And back here in the studio, we've been talking to the media officer of the Super Falcons who are in Cameroon in search of 3 points on their way to the Paris 2024 Olympic. Both teams have made it all the way from the beginning to this point. And of course, the final match will be decided in Nigeria. In the spirit of sportsmanship, the Confederation of African Football, CAF, has made it possible that both the Lioness and the Super Falcons, after the blast of the whistle, they will all convene and come back to Nigeria for the last game. The last match will be decided here at the MKO Abiola National Stadium. On record, recently, the female team have not lost any match at the MKO Abiola National Stadium, and perhaps I would like to say that the team is already through to Paris 2024 Olympics. Let's take a break. When we come back, there is more, and taking a look at matches that will be decided this weekend in the English Premier League, only on Global TV, right here in Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. Please don't go away. Glad to have you back on the program Talk Sport right here on Global TV in Nigeria's capital city. Let's tell you that there will be plenty of matches in the English Professional Football League and the Spanish La Liga. But a report reaching us that the game between Chelsea and Tottenham has been postponed. Of course, so there will be matches on the 24th, precisely that Saturday. Aston Villa will be at home to welcome Nottingham Forest, where Everton travel to meet Forest. Everton will travel to meet Brighton. City Palace will be at home to take on Burnley, while Fulham will be guests to Manchester United. Of course, Arsenal will be up against Newcastle for Saturday matches, and on Sunday it will be Wolves against Sheffield, while on Monday will be a great game. Brentford will take against West Ham United. For some matches that will be decided. Chelsea will come back next Saturday. They'll be up against Brentford. They had a wonderful game against Man City, if you ask me. For fans of City, while Everton will take on West Ham, it will be a good day for Fulham to welcome Brighton, while Wolves travel to meet Newcastle. Nottingham Forest will be home against Liverpool, and City Palace will travel to meet Tottenham. Aston Villa will be up against a trip to take on Luton in some of the matches that will be decided. Let's take a break, and of course, let's just take a look at the futures and look at the table of the ongoing English Premier League, and of course, it will tell you where exactly your team is in the standing ranking, and of course, team that will make it to UEFA Championship next week, and of course, the eventual winners of the ongoing competition is still very, very open, and many believe that Arsenal could be a little bit far from it, but they have given a very good account of themselves. Liverpool now stand taller than any other team in the league. They have played a total of 26 matches, and of course, they have 60 points, closely followed by Manchester City. The traditional champions, they have a total of 54 points, with 4 points less than the league leader Liverpool. Arsenal is also speaking tough, occupy the third place with a total of 55 points from 25 matches. That's to say they have a match at hand. Of course, Aston Villa is there occupying number 4 with a total of 49 points from 25 matches, while Tottenham has also played 25 matches with 47 points. Manchester United is occupying the 6th place with a total of 44 points from 25 points. There are few teams that are likely to go on relegation unless they show some level of improvement in the remaining matches. So far, Sheffield United is occupying the bottom of the log, that's number 20, with just 13 points from 25 matches. Burnley is 19 on the log with 13 points only from 25 matches, while Luton occupies the 18th place with 20 points from 25 matches. If they work harder, then they will escape relegation. Everton is number 17 with 20 points from 25 matches. And of course, Nottingham Forest is another team that must do everything possible to escape relegation. Let's bring you back home here in the Nigeria Professional Football League, because there will be plenty over the weekend. They're talking about from tomorrow and Saturday. Of course, Rivers United will be at home to welcome Aqua United, while Lobby Stars travel to Kanu to meet, of course, Kaduna United. The Lagosians will be at home. It will be a debut for them taking on Aqua United, while, of course, it's going to also be a good day for talking about the Antelope. The team from Owerri United, will also be in action in some of the matches that will be decided in the English Premier League. Now, let me tell you that a total of 5 federations are currently in Nigerian capital city preparing for qualifiers and intensifying their preparation to participate in this year's edition of the All-Africa Game in Ghana. The media officer of the Nigeria Olympic Committee on a telephone chat this morning with Global TV said a total of 13 teams so far have sealed tickets to participate and represent the Green White Green in the All-Africa Games in Ghana. More teams are expected, and of course, badminton is already true, wrestling is true, karate is true, and of course, we will be having our 2 female team for the event that will take place. For the very first time in the history of sport, eSport will be participating in the Ghana event, and yours truly will be there to represent Nigeria in the eSport event of the 2024 All-Africa Games in faraway Ghana. That's the size of today's edition of the program, TalkSport, right on Global TV. But before we go, a look at stories that make headline. We told you that the Nigerian Super Falcons have since arrived Cameroon for a cracker today against the Lioness of Cameroon. The return leg is expected to take place here in Abuja at the MKO Abiola National Stadium. A win on aggregate will qualify for the Paris Olympic game. We also told you that the president of the Sport Writers Association of Nigeria, Mr. Benjamin, is in Nigeria's capital city to find a lasting solution to the crisis rocking Swan in FCT. Until we come your way again, we want to say enjoy the weekend and have a wonderful day ahead of you. And I am Agbo Clinton Ayub, thanking all of you who have been part of the team in today's edition of the program, TalkSport and Global TV. Bye for now and enjoy the rest of the day.